Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and thank you for listening to this podcast. This is the HHE podcast, and we are on YouTube, social medias everywhere. Do us all that liking and subscribing stuff. So links are in the description from either you're watching it or whatever. But we are back again because we now have technically 6 houses have been announced for Halloween Horror Nights. It was a monster week, no pun intended, for announcements. We had an announcement every single day, Monday to Friday. So we thought we'd just wait until they all came out, and we'll give you all the information about them now. So I can't do this alone. Um, I
Good.
usually say this all the time, but I could do, but I don't think you want to listen to me waffling on for about 25 minutes. Phill, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, Paul Heyman of the podcast, who has the same three sayings at every start. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. I
Well,
can't do this on my own.
well,
Hello,
it.
I'm Paul
See,
Heyman.
I've got the intro sorted. You two sort the outro. Speaking of you
Two?
two, unfortunately, there's only one because
Retarded him.
Josephine has we've locked him back up in the dungeon. We're gonna let him
Yeah,
out for one night.
he made me too childish and naughty on the last episode, so we've had to tell him
Yeah,
off
we
again.
sent him back.
I'm blaming Joe.
Yeah.
Just aqua for me today.
Oh, beer because I've been up since, well, what time is it now? Yeah, I've been up for nearly 12 hours and it's the middle of the afternoon. So, yeah, as we said, we have got our house announcements. So I'm going to share
Round six.
our
Yeah.
pictures. Hopefully, these all come up. Don't need any sound because there's no video. If I open that up, there we go. So we already know we've got Slaughter Cinema. We spoke about that on the last
Two.
announcement, but I'll still just quickly go through it. I'll just go through what the synopsis of it was. It does. Let me just move things around on the computer because I haven't got things ready as per usual. Uh, Slaughter Cinema 2. If you're dying for a B movie marathon, head to the Carry Drive-In. Scream through scenes from creature features, grindhouse gore, spaghetti westerns, and more. Uh, it was a sequel to Slots of Death on 28. One of my best houses that I went through. So we spoke about it in the last episode. Go back and listen to that if you want to know more about that one. Move on to the next house that we got on. This is the first of five, was it? We got this on Monday.
Oh, I can't remember what order there is now, mate. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Well, they are in order. I've got the pictures all in order for everyone. So this one is Goblin Feast. It says, "Welcome to the Goblin's Feast Tavern, and visit the Goblin Village, where the lavish feast is being prepared for goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, and witches, and you're the main course." What do you think about this one? Because I know we spoke about the other one, but let's just quick go talk about each one as we do each one.
Well, obviously, all three of us had a little chat midweek with each other, like you do, like
Yeah.
all podcast hosts do, because they can't help themselves. Now, Joe thinks I haven't got a voice note from Joe, so God knows if it's coming through or not. So I'll just say what I can remember what he said. He thinks Goblin Feast may be a kind of comedy house. Now, seeing the other ones what come after this, he might be right.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
jokingly said on Twitter, I think that it was Hook, but you're being eaten. So if you know the film Hook with Robin Williams as Peter Pan, where they all start having a food fight, but you're the food. I think it's going to be something like that, a bit campy. Uh, but yeah, I haven't done a hype list. I might do one at the end of this, of these six. But currently, that is one that could be a comedy house. Moving on to Tuesday, we got a returning original, shall we say? Shall we say? Because it's not a returning house, but it used to be a scare zone into a house. It's Major Sweets Candy Factory.
one of
I'll
the
just give you
most
the quick.
popular scare zones as well, my ad.
Yeah. You've been invited to chaperone a field trip to the candy factory. The deadly delicious treats turn the kids into sugar-fueled fiends. Um, the when was the event? When was it? 31
Oh, we
Major
returned, mate, so it
Sweets.
must have been.
Yeah, it was 31. I personally like the Scare Zone,
I
but
hated everyone
here's
in
the
it.
but. It was too freaking loud. So I'm hoping that the house is not as loud as what the Scare Zone was. because it was one of them scare zones you couldn't spend more than 5 minutes in it because it was just too loud the nights we went. So I weren't too happy about it. But yeah, the scare zone, the kids have gone hyperactive. They want to kill you, and this is going to be the house of it where they actually turn the kids into the fiends. I think that's what I'm getting
Look,
from it.
if this is not a rip-off from Willy Wonka,
It's got to be
this is
this,
this could be the biggest miss in history.
but this is what I'm thinking that this one might be the comedy house for me. It
You could
seems
have
to be
two,
too far that
because
way.
if we're hearing what we're hearing about the IPs, and obviously we don't want to say to people what they
Mm.
are, it doesn't sound like really over the. There's not many comedy houses in the event, is there?
Well, if this one is and the Goblin one we just spoke about and one of the IPs, that potentially could be three comedy houses.
One too many, in my opinion. There should
So
only be two
we'll
max.
see. We'll see. We'll see. So our next announcement was the museum deadly exhibits. So on this one, you decide to visit the new folklore museum exhibit, the Rotting Stone, where an evil escapes from within, destroying everything in its path. This is, I think, Halloween Horror Nights version of doing Halloween 3. Because if you know the
Sorry,
story
mate.
of Halloween,
A typical time, and my niece decides to message me that her and her
yeah,
friend want to come on holiday in November. So I just had a quick look at the message. This is going to be absolutely awesome. This house.
yeah,
I think this could be the dark, scary one. Not
yeah. Well,
violent, dark, scary.
that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be. I don't know. I say we do this every single
Museums are
time when there's an
creepy at
originals.
night time.
Yeah.
They
Well,
are
the museum.
creepy as hell.
Well, yeah. If you watch Night at the Museum, it's not a scary film, but if you add the right type of music to that film, you can make that scary because music makes a difference in anything, in horror, in comedy, whatever. So yeah, this could be the creepy house of the event. Um, I don't think there's much more because, like I said, we can't really give you too much information on because we haven't been given any. I'm just telling you what we know from
I
what we've
think
been
that's brilliant,
told.
though, mate. Can I just say that's brilliant? I don't want to know
Mm.
everything.
So this one, Monstrous, the monsters of Latin America. And before you all have a pop at me for trying to pronounce all this, I'm not even going to bother because I cannot pronounce half of them words in that thing, what it
I
says. So
haven't
if you
got
want
the
to find,
synopsis. I would have had I would have had a dig at it because, quite
well,
frankly, if I got it wrong, it's not my fault.
it says when La Muthra as a guide, I haven't got it. See, I'm butchering this.
He
You'll,
butchers English
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. You'll be begging for. I read this as Pie Dad. It's probably not how you say it. From these three terrifying legends and the three Hispanic monster legends, and I don't want to disrespect anyone by trying to pronounce them. Just go onto Twitter and find them because I even super enthused Jackie couldn't even pronounce one of them. And yeah, so I'm not even going to go there.
Someone watched her tribute store video.
Yeah, well, don't know whether it's good. I don't know whether it's going to be open up because that's another. We'll talk about that in a bit. Actually,
I'm not. I'll tell you the truth, mate. Before we go into that, I'm not actually that bothered what I've seen of
yeah.
it.
So this was our fourth announcement of the week, our fifth original. So our
What do I?
last,
That will be cool, by the way,
yeah,
because
sorry,
it's following Hollywood, isn't it? It is following Hollywood. It has
yeah,
been Hollywood. I don't think it's going to be exactly the same as Hollywood's. I think it's going to be the Orlando take on it. What
yeah.
could be more lavish, but what I understand Hollywood, this
Well,
is one of the one of the newer favorites.
yeah, because didn't they Hollywood get Scarecrow the Reaping last year?
Yeah, so now they're trying
So,
to get another one off of us, and we're telling them no. It's just
well,
so turned into a funny
yeah.
thing on X.
Well, right. Anyway, and then our final original for the event, what we believe to be the final original, maybe more, you never know.
There has been a
Uh,
rumor that a
yeah.
house has fell through. So
So it is Triplets of Terror. You're invited to the Barmy Triplets' birthday bash, but beware, they celebrate by recreating their family's murders. Prepare for a gory gathering. This is the Bloodhouse.
oh, this is
This-
pure gore.
Well,
Do you remember
yeah.
that? Was it the ancient Roman woman? Everyone cried about the dead horse and that ripped
Hmm.
apart outside. I feel like this is on that level.
This is going to be worse.
Mm.
I personally think that this is going to be Hive level controversy. Because like if you remember in Hive, there was a dead dog and there was a dead baby. Everyone kicked off about the dog, but they didn't bother about the baby.
Well, dogs are more important. Oh, sorry, I'm joking. Oh my God, I know there's people listening moaning right now.
You've literally just got us cancelled. You've got us
Mate,
cancelled.
I got us cancelled the first year we started. Oh, dogs are more important. Ask what's his face, John Wick.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, that is the 6 houses we have been announced for Halloween Horror Nights. So
I know what you're thinking at this point. Where's the Joe bit? I have got it. I'm going to put it in here right now. So for a couple of minutes, Joe's been set free.
Hello boys, sorry I couldn't be with you for this week's episode. I've just got in from work. I just wanted to give you my quick thoughts on the announcements that we've had this week. Firstly, I was very surprised that we got this many announcements this early. It makes a nice change certainly from last year. But I just want to give you a quick rundown of basically my sort of hype list. Number 6, Major Suites. I wasn't that into the Scare Zone last time, mainly because it was just so fucking crowded. Every time I went through it, it was just, yeah, shoulder to shoulder, too many people. But the house might change my opinion. Number 5, Goblin's Feast. Yeah, I haven't really got much to say about that one. We'll wait and see. But number 4, Slaughter Cinema. Now, the reason I've got this one so low is because, as I said on the last episode, I didn't get to go through the original Slaughter Cinema. I know a lot of people are hyped about this one, so you never know. When I actually go through the house, it might jump up the list. Number 3, Triplets of Terror. Yeah, looking forward to this one. Looking at the artwork, it's got sort of purgy vibes. Yeah, I look forward to that one. Number 2, Monsters of Latin America. I've got high hopes for this one. I can see the Chupacabra making an appearance, maybe. I do like sort of myths and legends and stuff like that, so yeah, that's the reason that's so high up my list. And last, but well, definitely not least, it's number 1 on my hype list, is the Museum of Deadly Exhibits. I can see this being very reminiscent of Ed and Lorraine Warren's sort of museum in the Conjuring films. Yeah, I've got really high hopes for this one. So that is my number 1 on my hype list. Anyway, I'm going to sort my life out before the football starts. So take it easy, boys. Love you.
first things first, what do you think about getting all the originals announced first?
Do you know what? There's 2 things I want to go into here. So quickly, I actually quite enjoyed it. I did start I came to the event as an IP person, but it doesn't take long to realise that usually the originals have the best houses. We do have some voice messages as well. Well, not voice messages. I mean, some notes from people. Yeah. So I will get to them in a minute. But for me personally, I liked it. I liked how they did it, actually. And I prefer this every year. If we're going to wait so late, I would like mid to end of May, getting 5 to 6 houses, bang, 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 one at that event.
Yeah.
Was fine. And then the other 4 or 5 originals, depending. So I imagine another year it's going to go back down to 4 or 5 originals, not 6 in the event. But that's interesting, by the way. Has there ever been an event? I know you've said there's been an event with a whole original. So has there ever been an event when there's been more originals than IPs?
Yeah, IPs were really not a thing. They maybe popped up every so often in the early years. And I went to Halloween Horror Nights 18. And I think, if I remember correctly, actually, I'll do a quick little search.
He's doing that anyway. Why he's doing that? Yeah, I'm looking forward to him. If I'm going to just off the top of my head, I'm looking forward to Slaughter Cinema 2. Love the first one. Goblins intrigues me. It really does.
Yeah,
I think you got to remember last year I was really against the sci-fi house sort of thing, wasn't I? With the dragons one. I feel like goblins fit better with Halloween though. I think gremlins help a lot, and I'm hoping this is a cheeky spin on gremlins as well to take the piss.
Would be hilarious. Any reason why?
Major Suites, my middle.
Yeah, because like I
Uh,
said, Halloween Horror Nights, they've got the role when they do the originals, they can get away with a lot more.
yeah.
So,
I'm not 100% sure about the other ones. Yeah, I can't tell you. Just trying to remember more off the top of my head as well, doesn't it? If I had my phone up with them up, I'd be able to know. I'm just gonna have a look at a picture I've got here. So, major suites, as I said, middle museum. That's definitely near the top. Triplets of Terror is going to be hit or miss. And
yeah,
Monstrous, I don't know because I know they're totally different types of monsters, but we're going to have Universal monsters there as well, I believe. And I feel like you're going to be you're going to play against one against the other, even though they're totally different monsters. But if Monstrous works, I can see it in the vibe of what was them one that one a couple of years ago when we went to the scare actor dining thing in the little town with the little chupacabras.
yes,
I feel
yes,
like it's going to be on that sort of vibe.
yeah, yeah. I'm just having a quick look. Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights 18 was Reflection of Fear. It was based on Bloody Mary, and there was technically you could say that Bloody Mary is not an IP because it's still a Figment of thing, and every house was an original. The
So
Body
this is the most
Collectors,
original
Creatures,
heavy, right?
Interstellar Terror, Doomsday, Reflections of Fear, Dead Exposure, fantastic house. The Hallow, and Scary Tales. And in 2000 and Halloween Horror Nights 2019 or Halloween Horror Nights 2019. I can't get my fucking words out all today. It was ripped from the silver screen.
Maybe you should be on the aqua like me.
Mm. Well, it's ripped from the silver screen, and they actually had Chucky, the Wolfman, Saw. So that's when you could start to see IP starting to come in.
They were testing. Yeah.
So yeah, my first year was there was no IPs whatsoever, and I loved it, and that's what threw me into Halloween Horror Nights. And I went into 2010, 11, 12, 15, 17, 18, 19. So yeah,
Okay, we
I've been
don't need a
going nearly
list,
a year
mate.
since.
Bloody hell, what are
Uh,
you, wiki event man now?
well, some people say I actually don't know anything, but I have
Who
been
says
to the
that?
event. There's a few people out there don't think we weren't actually being able to comment on these things, but
Oh, no, 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 no. Look, can I just say this? Anybody starts a new podcast as well, and if you've only started going the last 2 years, if you talk about the history, Simon Sort can of it, it seems, as you can clearly, I really can't. I have to listen. You sound like a buffoon. But modern stuff, you have an opinion and it's allowed because
yeah,
these gatekeeper idiots are probably old as well, like me and Simon. And if you're younger than us, you're in the more modern take of the world. Just like wrestling, it's
hmm
evolved. Just like movies are evolved. I hate the comic people as well. You haven't read the comic, so you can't criticize the movie. I can because the movie's not a comic, you dipstick. It's totally different. They've slightly changed parts of it. So shut your mouths. So yeah, in other words, everyone has an opinion.
yeah.
Anyway, rant over.
Anyway, so um, we did put some opinion polls out about some of the announcements as they came. We did get a nice comment from I can't remember who was it. Uh, was it
You do the
Megan? I think.
polls and I'll get the things up for the what people thought of the house is in a minute.
Yeah.
I've got all them screenshots, so they're easy to find. All three people.
Uh,
Oh, but
yeah.
before you do that, can you also remember the guy person from Instagram? It was quite a shock.
But,
He's already forgot when someone sent us a message through Instagram midweek. You're useless,
oh
you are.
yeah.
I literally told you midweek to remember that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Instagram's on my phone, and I haven't got access to my phone. Um, just give me a second.
Sorry from Instagram. I
Go on,
did tell him.
you do yours, and then
Yeah, right.
I'll
So
get
we've
on with
got well, just basically, I asked the question. Record a new podcast episode today about the 6 houses for HHN33. Please comment below and tell us what you think. So far, 6 original houses. Are you hyped or not? So the first person I got, some people may have heard of him. This may upset somebody, but oh well. Nick Roberts. I actually like the lineup. Interested to hear more about them, but yeah, good start. And then he elaborates a bit more. Just to add, I've had a hard time with the original houses. I struggle to imagine what they will be like inside, unlike the IPs. Now, I know Nick gets He's autistic. I know you won't mind me saying that because he tells everyone. So he likes preparing for things. So I think that's why he probably struggles. Unlike the IPs where my mind goes into overdrive of what I might see and how they would pull it off, that leads to disappointment. Sometimes when I think of what was left out rather than what they put in, it's often why the original houses end up being more loved than the IPs. And he's got a point there, because when you see a movie, everyone has an idea what the house should be like. With these originals, we can all have a little idea, but we know we can't, there's nothing to base it on apart from Slaughter Cinema, really, right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
You found that
unfortunately, my
thing?
computer's not letting me log into anything on my computer. It's been an
Okay, well,
absolute
I can
pain,
move
so-
on to Emma Whiteman. I hope I've said that right. Whiteman. Anyway, as this will be our first time to HHN, I'm just so excited, and the houses look good so far. Looking forward to more announcements. I don't think you're going to be waiting that long. And then the ever-present Doctor Who nut, Craig Willicks. I do a podcast with him. Craig, I do have a bit of a problem with one of them right now. I'm trying to fix it.
No, he's not. He's just being lazy.
No, I'm trying to fix it. Yeah, it's been interesting. That they've announced all the originals first. It might reduce crowd levels, especially if they flip it this year and wait a while before announcing the IPs. I think the houses all have great potential. Triplets of Terror is the one that jumps out for me. It's giving me House of a Thousand Calls vibes. Actually, that's a bloody good shout, because I hadn't read that. But that is it from everyone. The House of a Thousand Cult vibes. Yeah, it could be go that way of doing it.
It could be, because like I say, it could be. It's like saying, with them being originals, they can just do whatever the hell they like, and there's nothing really anyone can say.
It could also it could also be a hell block horror.
Yeah.
Or even worse, Chucky.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the polls you put out was, are you excited for the original House Goblins Feast? 97% said yes, let's go, and 3% says no, they freak me out. So there is some people being freaked out by them goblins. And
Doctor Who
then
goblins.
yeah. Then you started to play a little bit on the words, didn't you? So do you have a sweet tooth for Major Sweets Candy Factory? We had 90% say yes, I want candy, and so 10% says no, I'm a dentist. So yeah, and so every single person who's voted, interacted over the last few days and weeks, very much appreciated. Thank you very much. I don't think, and this one, do you like House 4, the museum deadly exhibits? I don't think anyone had the balls to say no, because it's yes,
what was my
night at the
choices?
museum, and you put no, I'd rather eat puke.
You should be on YouTube,
So-
people, to see my smile on my face right now.
And then we had one more, I think.
I did one for every house Monday to Friday.
Yes.
So
Are you excited for the monsters of Lean America? That's what we put on Twitter. But Latin America, you missed a T out. But anyway.
no, they've been working out.
You've got yes, Latin monster vibes, 100%, and no, I don't travel well. I do like.
I'm
what
sure
you've
there
done
must
with
be
the
one
move.
more, because the last house.
There is. I'm just.
Yeah.
Problem is, I can't log into X on my computer either. So
X can't give it to you. I'm sorry. Change it back to Twitter, Musk.
So this actual, as we speak, is still live for another hour and 40 minutes.
It's
So the
dead
result, the hour, it might change a little bit, but the final house is: do you think this house is triple the fun for Triplets of Terror? Yes, triple horror. No, I can't stand horror. 96% said triple horror, and 4% said no, they can't stand horror.
Didn't
So
someone
why
like it as well?
Sorry?
Didn't someone like that one as well?
Was it that one?
Some event. I'm sure it was that one.
Yes, we actually got a like from Halloween Horror Nights itself for that one. So
Finally, they acknowledge us. Acknowledge us. Oh, by the way, I've got that woman from Instagram. I've looked it up.
right, cheers, mate.
Lady, I should say woman. It's so very cross to me. Her name is Nicole Michelle, I think. If I've butchered that, I'm sorry. We basically said we had a new episode out, and she put, "Yay, you guys are my favorite HHN podcast." So shout out for you. Thank you. We don't often get that, so when we hear new people say that, it does make us feel good. I have seen an uptick on our numbers on socials and the podcast, and
It
YouTube's
does,
just a
yeah,
weird one.
it does. And if you are watching on YouTube, I'm going to put this up so you have to go over there and see it. We do have a new do we have it as an icon or is it just a
No,
just
the
our
icon's
social
going to
media?
be the icon. Unfortunately, is our little spray pan guy. You won't really see him
Hmm,
much on YouTube, and that you'll see him at the end of the video, but that's pretty
yeah.
much it. But we do have a spray paint icon. He's orange. He's a spray paint can, and he's melting, and you see his skull, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but we have got a new logo, should we say, as it is. We just decided to change things up again. Plus, Phil gets bored very quickly, so we like
No,
to
the
change them every
reason for
6
this one
months.
is for if you ask Joe, Simon didn't know this because no, Simon doesn't like my changing things. I've been saying to Joe for ages, I've been annoyed with the other one. As much as I like the looks of it, it just didn't pop in your face. And I
Hmm.
think a logo has to pop.
Well, like I say,
So
there is there will be something special with this logo down the line.
very
Just
small though.
because it's very small, but it'd be very, very limited. Well, that's all we'll say
Yes.
for now.
And it will be
Um,
September.
yes, the only way you'll be able to get it is in September. So we'll leave it at that. We won't give it away. You can actually follow
So
us
before we
on
go
our
anywhere, do you want
socials. Well,
before we do that though, do you want to quickly go into this new tribute store?
yeah, it's very 90s, 80s,
It's
90s, isn't it?
can I say I've seen loads of people who this is where I upset the fan base. So Simon does not necessarily agree with me. I see loads of people yet again when no matter what Universal or Disney do, they will say it's the most amazing thing on the planet. The tribute store outside looks absolutely cheap and terrible. The inside is meh at best. The best bit is probably the cinema room with Ghostbusters and ET in that.
Mm.
The rest of it is just meh to me. I like the idea of the videotape when you could have your picture on the videotape with different things. You
Yeah.
get like a card, the video box, you get that, and something else, but I can't remember what it is. That was cool.
Socks.
That's it, socks, random.
Yeah.
Random as it is.
The thing,
Because that's
the
what you
thing
should show off. It's
is,
a pair of socks.
if I remember correctly, I watched the video for the Jurassic Park one for last year, and the videos didn't really do it justice until we actually saw it in real life. So,
I genuinely thought the Jurassic Park one looked better though, but I just feel
mm,
like look, I'm giving Universal out and out as well. They have this some new little theme park opening up next year, and a
yeah.
lot of the resources and team efforts have to go into that right
The
now.
thing
And
is,
with HHN coming, that they are
mm,
thin. They've got
but
HHN
it's
team.
there will. I think there'll be more updates to it as you go along, like they do with the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store. So there'll be updates towards the next tribute store that'll be opening. And going back to the facade that you said, yes, I do agree. It is very meh, but I think it's done that way so it can blend in. So I think it's still going to be there for Halloween Horror Nights potentially, because it
Posters
worked last year with the Jurassic Park one being open as well.
through the day I like that. But the
Mm.
posters, do we think we're getting an old tribute store front coming back
Well,
for the
possibly, but
Halloween one?
from what I've heard and what I found, that actual facade was destroyed. So it would be a new facade. It'd just be very similar because he literally just rip it down and destroyed it. That's what I'm hearing anyway. So if they do go back to that one, I don't mind. I never saw that one because that was at 26.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to Haunt Girl. Was it Haunt Girls who
Yeah, it was
pointed
Home
it out?
Girls. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, if anyone's pointing out before them, I do apologize, but that's who I saw it from.
Mm. But speaking of the tribute store, I'll say that on here now. While I was watching Super Enthused video, I did notice
Jackie.
they have the like posters and things and in the as you walk in. It's kind of hinting at stuff that's inside the tribute store and for future reference. I did see a business card in there for Razor Cult's books. And
Razor Colts, right? Yeah, no, yeah.
if you know what Razor Cult Books is all about and you know what film that's from, could be a little hint for Halloween Horror Nights. Just pointing it out there. So, um, yeah, that's really it, guys. So, anything else from you?
I'm awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Simon, Come out of character there. I'm not used to
I'm
that.
I'm tired. I'm extremely tired now. If you're wondering, guys, I've been on really, really earlys, and I've been my
Yeah,
brain's up my
he
arse.
basically crashed a train into a tree as well. Apparently, that's
Well,
what
I
he
didn't
told
crash
everyone.
I didn't crash
Well,
the
that's why
train.
you put it on my Facebook group, Endless Summers Result group. Go and check it out. It's the one with the green writing. It's like a night photo. Quite frankly, it's the best group for Endless Summers because I think every single admin and moderator in that group has actually stayed at the Endless Summers results.
Yeah, well, I should have said this twice now. So speaking of all that, why don't you follow the rest of our socials at HHE Pod, at HHE Pod 1 on TikTok.
Busy on there.
Follow us on Facebook. I think it's Twitter, well, X, Instagram, all them. And if you are watching this, please give this a thumbs up. It does help, and it does help. It helps the channel itself. Because we kind of stagnated on subscribers. So we're coming at 147. Get us to 150 in a couple of days, a couple of weeks would be very nice. Like, and then potentially 200, and then maybe hit Epic Phill or Phill G Travel. Try and catch his numbers at some point. See, if he doesn't do the plug, I have to do it because I'm contracted.
Phill G Travel. He's only on 1,917 subscribers, I believe.
But I'm contractually obliged to shout him out if he doesn't do it anymore.
Because I'll shoot him.
So. Yeah, so do that for us, guys. And from Phill,
stay epic.
And from Joe,
good night and sweet streams. Screams.
Yeah, good night.
Sweet dreams.
Good
Joe,
night.
this is your fault.
Yeah,
you should
good
be
night
here.
And sweet screams. And for me, bollocks to it. It's tatty bye bye. Gotta keep it.
Tatty bye bye.
Tatty bye bye. Don't hit a tree.
Yeah, actually, before we go, the tree thing was basically told everyone he hit a tree. Right, let me quickly tell you this, and then we're gone. He told everyone, even in my group, they hit a tree, and what happened? They hit a branch on a tree, what smashed the front window of the train. Nothing was really damaged, and he made it sound bigger than it was. End of story.
But it shut the whole line down for 6.5 hours.
Because the UK's useless. Because the UK's useless.
We pulled a massive tree down, supposedly. So,
okay, now back. Now, say it one more time.
Happy bye bye.